Okay, so we are here on day two of Romford Film Festival. We've just had a screening of the Fifth Generation, which is Hugo Santa Cruz's new feature film. Hugo was with us last year for My London Lullaby. It's great to have him back. And we have one of the cast members with us. Can you just introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, I'm Alexandra Smith.
Thank you so much for joining us.
She plays Bobo the Clown, Miss Monaco, the pirate, the bank robber, and the bee.
Yeah, you guys saw it. You guys saw it all.
Exactly. So first question about that. What made you decide to shoot this film basically 5 times? Where did that idea kind of come from?
It was initially a short, and I felt that the main part, Bobo the Clown, was really intense and really interesting to develop. And I was kind of bummed out that I would only get one actor to play it. So I was, lying in bed about to fall asleep, and just suddenly I had that eureka moment, and I went like, well, what about, just having different actors play it? And hence the idea sort of started.
5 complete unique actors as well.
One very talented one here next to me.
So, what was it like for you, Alexandra, playing 5 different parts? How did you prepare for that?
So basically, most of my time I spent preparing for Bobo, because that was like quite a big deal. But yeah, it's quite interesting to work on the whole script rather than just a part, because you have to also learn by heart the whole script. So it was definitely a first, and I loved it. It was amazing, to be fair.
Which one was your favourite character?
Well, Bobo, of course. Like that was an experience in itself. Yeah. I was so nervous as well. Remember?
No, you were fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm very happy with the outcome.
Did you do a lot of workshop kind of prep on the characters with the cast?
Some needed more than others. Lee, for instance, just came in and just boom, he was Bobo. But I mean, Alex needed a bit more work, and we worked on it, and we found it. And to be honest, people that have seen the film usually tend to say that Alex's Bobo is probably their favorite. And I'm Spanish, so it was really interesting working on the linguistics of Mexican Spanish. It was super fun, and Alex killed it. It was awesome, totally gangster.
Yeah.
So the 5 different styles, how did you come up with that, and how did you decide on the rules, if you like, of the different types? Because there are 5 very distinct segments, if you like, repeats in 5 styles.
Yeah, because it's very conceptually is very strict, but then we have a bit of fun with it. I just when the adventure of exploration started, when that eureka moment happened, I just started putting ideas together, and I was like, first one will be like very cinematic. We have a famous actor playing the lead role. Yeah. Then second one, I always wanted to shoot on film, so that's actual real Super 8. It's not a plugin, a filter. Which had its own difficulties and challenges.
Yeah, that was hard.
Yeah, and then the third one, theater, which had a huge difficulty, which was that initially we had cast someone else to play Bobo for the theater, but he cancelled 30 minutes before shooting started. So Domino stepped in, and we came up with that table read, which looks very Brechtian, and I think it's one of my favorites, actually. And we actually had then the 4th multilingual, and then for the 5th one we had POV. But I watched it with my parents, and I looked back and I was like, they were bored to bits, and I was like, okay, well, something needs to change here. So I decided to, instead of having the POV as the 5th one, just have a documentary style as a sort, so that serves as an emotional reward for the audience.
Speaking of the audience, is there I believe there's a prize or
okay.
If someone wants to ask a question at this point, we should
okay. Well, this always works a treat. So I have Antiquino shirts as modeled. Yeah. So if any, I know it's a bit late, but and we kind of want to wrap. But if any of you has a question, I have a shirt to give you. So pose a good question, and you'll get a free shirt.
So I've got a question at this point. We can come back to it in a minute. Yeah.
Well. It always works.
So many hands.
I'm sure it takes me a while.
As soon as there's anything free.
Hello. I was just going to ask, basically what made you choose that some parts of it were really grainy? Like, is there a meaning behind that? Or was there
That's a great.
The meaning is that it really is an experiment, and it's so grainy because it was shot in Super 8. And when you shoot in Super 8, when you shoot anything on film requires a lot of crew. A lot of lighting, a lot of measuring, and we were literally 3 people in the crew. Meaning that the Super 8 sort of suffered a bit. So what you see grainy is that's what we shot, and the experiment was what we shoot goes on the cut, and that's what we had.
Yeah,
and
you can't make mistakes.
Exactly, and we kind of made a mistake there, but we had to live with it, and that's the beauty of it as well. It's an experimental film.
Was just at this point, was the Super 8 kind of getting that?
Oh wait, well you get a T-shirt,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
You get a T-shirt. What size are you?
How rude!
maybe small or medium?
Right, catch.
Hope you're ready. Wait.
She only has one eye now.
She has a T-shirt. So, yeah.
Got another question.
Okay.
Sorry, I was just going to ask, whether it was 5 different styles, so there's also 5 different actors playing all the roles. When you first started, did everybody know they were going to be playing the different roles, or did you have actors in mind first, and then maybe they started to not maybe repeat each other's performances, potentially?
No, everyone knew. Everyone knew what was going to happen. It was presented as such. That was the experiment, which is mega bizarre. But I'm very happy with it. Like watching it with an audience, you get a whole different experience. And I was really happy with how it worked. So there we go. I hope that answers your question. What size are you?
I'm not convinced you can throw this one.
Well, you wait and see.
You've got another question coming up as well in a second.
Go on.
You take your time, old man.
I noticed you Fassbinder at the end. Was there a particular influence on you, or what was the reason for that?
Well, are you a fan of Fassbinder?
Yes, I am, but I was trying to guess your influences, and I hadn't.
Yeah.
I've got 2 or 3 directors in mind, and I may be completely wrong, but I hadn't thought of him when I was watching it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
There's essentially. Here goes a shirt.
That made a good noise.
Give you Lindsay.
I'm not ripping off Fassbinder, but essentially there's this film that he has. It's called The Third Generation, and it's about a group of political activists in Germany in the 1970s. And in the last 5 minutes of that film, they dress up as such. You have a Bobo, not a Bobo the Clown. Bobo the Clown is my creation, but you have a clown, you have a pirate, you have a Miss Monaco, and you have a ladybird. But I turned that into a bee because of the whole climate sort of theme. So that's kind of where that comes. Obviously, you haven't watched enough Fassbinder.
No, I was thinking
Nevertheless, you get a shirt.
I will check out the Third Generation.
You must. You must. It's a great film.
Yeah.
Right. Boom. Oops.
Más
Nearly.
menos.
I only have one shirt left.
Oh, are we going Chris?
Sad to say.
Are we going Chris? Let's go Chris.
Can't see any others.
Hi, so what style did you enjoy the most shooting? And if so, would you do that for another?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, as stupid as it sounds to do a no-budget film on film, I really loved shooting on film. It felt super special, and I actually learned a lot. There was a lot about the blocking. You know, when you shoot on digital, you just kind of roll and just like, oh, you know, we'll find it, or try this, try that. But with film, you really have to be super disciplined.
Oh my gosh.
And so we had the marks, we had the blocking, we had the cues, and actually it was pretty quick. Once we got it, we shot it, and we actually Cecilia knows this. The fridge is still, I still have some Super 8 left to be used in further endeavors. So yeah, film.
Was that the biggest cost for this? The development?
Yeah, I would say yeah.
So your cast, you've worked with Shirley before on My London Lullaby. How did you bring the others on board?
I met Lee. Lee is the first Bobo the Clown, and some of you may have recognized him from Joker. He's in Steve McQueen's Blitz, upcoming film. He's in the new Joker as well. I met him backstage in a music festival, and we really kind of hit it off. And when it came to it, I got in touch with their agent, and he sent a very coherent offer, and they accepted. And he loved the script, which was beautiful. So it was all very organic, call it. And the rest, I really wanted. I was looking for a kid who would speak one of the Nigerian dialects for Bobo the Clown, but I just couldn't find one. And so eventually we did a casting, and we found Tommaso, who's Italian. And I knew I needed Bobo. A Spanish-speaking Bobo, because if I was going to cut it, you know, I would have liked to have done it in Japanese, but I don't speak Japanese, so that would have been an absolute nightmare. So, you know, next best thing is Mexican Spanish, which is the best Spanish you can get. You know, it's mega fun and quirky, and you know, it's very musical. So I was very lucky to find Alex, and she, you know, I'm super happy with that. Yeah.
So both of your feature films have been very kind of political, and we spoke the other night about your next film, which you can tell us about a bit more in a minute. But is that the only way that you're interested in making films? You know, for that kind of message, whatever it might be. Immigration in your last film, this one, you know, the next one I think you mentioned it's going to be the housing crisis. So
yeah, is
that kind of what you always want to do?
I'm interested in the themes that are explored in this, power, brutality, and exploitation. And I think with Antiquino, what we're doing is looking into themes that are zeitgeisty, that are of now. Yes, I have scripts that take place in Victorian London and whatnot, but you know, right now, what can I shoot whilst staying broke is these political films. And I think it's cool because there's a lot of inward-looking films, and that's fine, we need those, but this is an outward-looking film, you know, and I think there aren't that many of them, you know. Let's put it out there. People are kind of scared to be political. Fuck that. Let's be political. Everything's political.
Yeah. I knew you were going to say something.
Yeah.
Is there any other questions from the audience? You won't get a T-shirt, but you know.
No, you would. You get an S.
Oh, there you go. Any
No.
more?
I've got just wanted to say, really appreciate that you do different and that you do different well. Because there's so many people that do different, but they don't do it very well. And it's that statement, isn't it? So many people make feel, so few should.
Yeah.
And, you know, you do something different.
Yeah.
You bring something new. So well done to you, and well done to everybody that's involved in both this and My London Lullaby, because you're really you're moving the world in your own little way.
That's the idea. No?
Yes, I agree. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, you're going to be in the next one, so
I know I am, by the way.
Let's talk about the next one then. It sounded really cool when you told me the premise.
Yeah.
What's it about?
It's a female-centric comedy on the housing crisis. It's a lot of fun, and it's kind of a one-location-y sort of film. And I'm still writing, but it's like it's kind of done, but it's like now in the process of getting better. And yeah, thank you again for coming. I know it's late. I appreciate that you're staying here to hear me rumble on. So thanks again.
Thank you guys as well. Thank you so much.
Bravo!